Good morning. Today, December 16th, 2025. Melachim Beis, Perek Yud Ches. Okay. Perek Yud Ches, Pasuk Aleph. Rabbi, you ready? Okay, we're going to get started. Let's go. Second day of Hanukkah, and we have to roll. Okay. So now, with the third year of Hashem ben Elah Melech Yisrael, on the third year of, on that side, on that same time, Malach Chizkiyahu ben Achai is Melech Yehuda. So Chizkiyahu, he was the Melech Yehuda. Again, the side of Yehuda is Chizkiyahu, and at the same time, we have Hashem ben Elah. Now, Chizkiyahu, we'll see in a second, was a tremendous tzaddik. In fact, we're going to see in a second, he was the number one Nach Yehuda. The Pasuk says, Lo yahi kamayu b'chol Yehuda. He was the number one tzaddik and number one Melech in the entire Yehuda. Okay? Chazal say, no, in Yehuda, he was the number best king. Chazal say he was royal to be Mashiach. Okay? We're talking about a tremendous Talmud Chacham. Now, he was the Melech of Yehuda, and at the same time, in Israel, you can have the story of Israel going to Golas happened at the same time frame. Okay. Now, Ben Esther Mechamei Shana Hayamalchi, when he was 25 years old, he became the Melech, and Esther Tesha Shana Malch Yishlaim. So, he's 25 years old, he became the Melech. He ruled for 29 years. Again, he was the best king in Yehuda, and his mother, Shemila, was Avi Bar Zechariah. The name was Avi. Interesting, the name Avi, we see is a girl's name, and it was the daughter of Zechariah Navi. Chazal learned it was Zechariah Navi. Now, why does it say his mother's name? Because why his mother? Because his father wasn't so good. His father was Achaz, the Rasha, who put him. This Chizkiyahu is the one who went through the Melech, and his mother Avi took him and wrapped him in the blood of the salamander. She smeared it on him and protected him from the Melech. So his mother was the one who raised him. So that's why it brings his mother. And maybe Pshat and Avi, like the name father, maybe because it was like maybe Nikah Shem Seifer, that she was his father figure, maybe you can see it like that. Anyways, but the pasuk says, "The Yasa Yosha ben Hashem." He followed in Hashem. Very rare you see this in Navi. Usually it's the opposite. He didn't follow the ways and he didn't do well. Here, Yasa Yosha ben Hashem, and he followed and he did well, like the David of he was tremendous Tam Chacham. Now, what did he do? Who says about my Vishibas Matzeivot and Asheirah? He removed the bamot and he smashed the Matzeivot and he ripped down the Asheirahs. And the first thing he did, the important thing we're going to see that he got tremendous praise for was the So what did he do? There was Moshe Rabbeinu made this copper snake, and anyone looked up to it got a refuah. So what did he do? And it got to the point that people started doing avodat zarah, and they turned it into avodat zarah. So the first thing he did was he changed the name to be Mavazit, and once he Mavazit something, little by little you can already take it down. What did he do? He went ahead and destroyed it. And we had the famous Gemara Psachim. The Gemara says in Psachim that Chizkiyahu did 6 things. 3 things he got praised for. 3 things he didn't get praised for. The Gemara says the story with the copper snake that he destroyed it. That was one of the things he got praised for. And he took his father's bones, and he dragged it through the streets that he was praised for. And also he hid the famous Sefer Refuos, the famous Sefer that anyone need any disease, any issues, he went to open it up and told you what to do. And people started relying on it, so he went ahead and he destroyed it. Those are the 3 things he was praised for. The Gemara says in Psachim, 3 things that he did that were not praised for. One was that he closed the Gichon springs, and the other one was he's Ma'aber, Nisan, and you really have to do it in Adar. And the last thing we're going to have in the Psachim in a minute is that he went ahead when Melech Asher came ahead. And Melech Asher came and he made a siege on Yerushalayim. He made a bribe for Asher, and he went ahead and he scraped the gold off the doors of the Beis HaMikdash, and he gave his Melech Asher. And the Gemara says that he was not Meshuvach for. So he had 3 and 3. But anyways, he was a tremendous Talmid Chacham, and he got rid of the avodat zarah and the bamot. And the main thing we say now is he got rid of this copper statue. Now, the Kash is the famous Gemara Chul. The Gemara asks, like Yeshafa was a big tzaddik, and Asa and Yosem, the old big tzaddik. Why did they get rid of this thing? So the Gemara says over there, Makam and Nichol of Avaisav the Skalabai, that sometimes Hashem doesn't put it in the head of the Talmid Chacham to do something, and Hashem gives it a chance to later generations. So in other words, you have to always give a chance for the next generation to shine. So even though it was such an obvious thing to do to get rid of it, but even though in times of Shafat and earlier times they didn't do it, and it was reserved special for the times of Chizkiyahu. Weiter. Pasuk hey, Hashem Elokei Yisrael Bata. He had Tanach Hashem v'achav lahay kamay v'chol Mach Yehuda, and there was no one like him in the whole Mach Yehuda. He's even greater than Yosem, which was tremendous, and Yeshafat, and also No one before him was as good as him. Now, pasuk vav. V'yidim b'Hashem v'lo yisam b'acharav. V'yishma b'tzvaysav v'shativ v'esmaisha. Hashem esmaisha. Now, pasuk Zion. V'haya Hashem imay. Now, Hashem was with him. Yaskil, whatever he did, he was successful. V'yimroi b'melch Ashur. And what's the first thing he did? He rebelled against Melch Ashur. And he didn't serve Melch Ashur. What's the lashon? He rebelled. He didn't serve him. So the Kliyaka explains what he did was that day one he came in. He said, "Ashur, you're out." Like he didn't even acknowledge his existence. To the point we'll see in a minute how every year Yehuda used to send a bribe to Melch Ashur, but as soon as he came in, right away, no bribe, not paying anymore. Goodbye, good luck, have a nice day. And we'll see that was the beginning of the trouble. Anyways, fine. Pasuk Ches. For who he kiasa pushim out of Azav as Bula Ruleha. Mimigdal Leitzim ad Ir Mifsa. What he did was he started up with Azza and he hit them on the Gulas. From the Migdal Leitzim ad Ir Mifsa. What does that mean? From the watchtower until the fortified city. That means is he went ahead. The way he ruled was he went and attacked everybody. He didn't he got rid of all the desires from the beginning. He didn't. Some people when they rule, what they do is they focus on the big thing, on the fortified city. He went ahead and did every little detail, and therefore he was successful when he did. Pasuk test. Now Now it's going to tell you very interestingly. It's going to tell you the story of the Shvat going to the Golas from the side of Yehuda. So it's saying on the 4th year of Chizkiyahu's king, which was the 7th year of Assyrian Melech Israel, which was on the Israel side. That's when Allah Salmanda Salmaneser Melch Asher. That's when Salmaneser of Asher came on the Shamron. And he made the siege. That's when the siege happened on the Shamron. And then and they conquered it. And the 3 years, which was Vishnas Sheish Chizkiyahu, right? Was the 6th year of Chizkiyahu. Vishnas Sheish It's just telling you that basically on the side of on the 6th year of Chizkiyahu, which is the 9th year of Melech Yisrael, is when the Yigal Melech Asher Yisrael Ashura is when Klal Yisrael and Yisrael went to go. That's the start of the Sabbatian. That all happened then, okay? And that's when Vinichem Bechlach Ubechaver Bnei Goizan V'Arimadai. That's when Klal Yisrael went to go. It's the other side of the Sabbatian. And why did it all happen? So the Navi is just reiterating. It says Ashallah. Shamu bekol Hashem elikechem ve'yavu b'risoi esa kol Hashem tiva Hashem Moshe eved Hashem le'shemu le'yasu. The reason why they went to go is because they didn't follow Hashem and they went off. Listen, they did avodat zarah and earlier we said even more. It said stronger lashon. It said the lashon of they angered Hashem. It did it all to anger Hashem. Whatever it is, just to bring what we're up to now. So in Melech Yehuda now we have Chizkiyahu as the Melech. And the Klal Yisrael is just saying is in Golis now in the side of Asher now, on the side of Yisrael, in the hands of Asher and then by the Sabbath. Okay, now Pasuk Yugimel. Now the 14th year of Chizkiyahu is now's when the story is going to kind of start. So now what happens is Olas Amcheir Bech Asher Al Uri Yehuda have Surais V'Tivshu. So now on the 14th year of Chizkiyahu, Sancheriv, right, goes ahead. He's Melch Asher, and he goes ahead and he puts a siege. He says he seized. He basically puts a siege. He kind of surrounds Yerushalayim. Now, why did it happen then? Because we know already he stopped paying the taxes, but it could be earlier. From the beginning, we said he stopped paying the taxes. So why now? So I was thinking maybe the chat is that beginning he was busy earlier with dealing with Klal Yisrael already on the sides of Yisrael. But now that that's settled, he already exiled them. Now he's like, wait, what happened to my bribe? You guys stopped paying the bribe. So maybe now all of a sudden, I'm not sure why suddenly now he woke up about the bribe. But anyways. So the answer is Hashem put it there because of the various, but the was a truth movement going on. Anyways, what happens? So what happens is Chizkiyahu. He says there's a siege on Yerushalayim and he's feeling the pressure. So he sends Chizkiyahu now the Melech. He sends a message to Melech Asher who was in Lachish, which is in Yisrael, and that was kind of where once he exiled the Shvatim. He made an area that's so where he was kind of his stronghold. We're talking about Melch Asher, and now Chizkiyahu sends a message. He says, "Chatasi shuv me'alai." I did a very. I'm sorry that I didn't pay the bribe. That I messed up. Asher titain alai asa. That I'll do it. In other words, I'll I'll bear whatever you impose upon me. What does that mean? In other words, whatever you tell me, I'll do because I'm in trouble. And what did he do? Yasem Melech Asher al Chizkiyahu Melech Yehuda. He told him he has to pay Shalosh Meish Kika Kesef 300 Kika of Kesef, a Shloshim Kikas of, and 30 of gold. In other words, that's the bribe you had to pay now if you want to make it all good. So now, what did he do? He had no choice. He went to Beis Hashem. He went to Beis Hamikdash. He took anything he could find. Also, by Itzis HaMelech, and also his private stash of money. He went ahead to Bryce and Chayrev to have Rachmanis on Yehuda and to ease up on us. But and plus that Zayin. But he Kitzas Chizkiyahu as Dalsis Hecha Hashem. That's the Umnois. Tzipah Chizkiyahu Melech Yehuda and Melech Asher. And one of the ways he got money from the Beis Hashem, what did he do? He went to the doors of Beis Hamikdash. We said earlier, this he was not praised for, and he went ahead and he scraped the gold off the doors that he put, and he's the one who put it on. But he took it off, and then why did he put it on? Because earlier we had that that there was different renovations going on, but over time it got worn out. Maybe people took it, maybe they sold it. We know different times they had to go ahead and sell the gold. So, anyways, he put it on, and now he had to take it off. He had to give it to Tzachir, and this he was not praised for. This he shouldn't have done. Okay.
Why was he all of a sudden scared before you?
Because now he was in trouble. Now they're feeling the pinch, and now they realize they're in trouble. So they had to do it. They had no choice, and they had to acknowledge the threat from Tzachir. Now, so now Sancheirav is kind of having some sort of siege on Yerushalayim, and now he sends now Sancheirav Melech Asher sends a message to Chizkiyahu. And the theme of the next 20 psukim is basically the message that he's going to give them. Now, first of all, he sends three people. V'yishlach Melech Asher. Again, Tzachir sends who? As Tartan, Rav Sarev, V'es Rav Shakeh. Rav Shakeh is the big one. Rav Shakeh, and he was from Lachish, and he sends them El HaMelech Chizkiyahu B'chel Kavi Yerushalayim. And he sends with him some sort of royal delegation, some sort of army, and v'yalu v'yavu Yerushalayim, they come to Yerushalayim, v'yalu v'yavo v'yavdu, and they're standing, but b'sal alas brecha alyana, in the upper pool, Hashem mesila asadei kaives, where people used to do the laundry. It was kind of in the public area. It was actually near the wall. The reason why I say in the location, and we'll see that in a minute, because in a minute it's going to be that the people were listening to the message that he was saying. So now we have Tartan, you have Rav Sarev, and Rav Shakeh. Rav Shakeh is the big one. Rav Shakeh, the Rashi brings later, was Yisrael Mummer, and you'll see he's going to give all these drushes. He's going to give a whole rationing, and basically the message is going to be that I'll just say it a little bit outside, and then we'll see it inside. The message is going to be like, why are you Klaisel stand up against Achayrev? Achayrev much stronger than you, much greater than you. Who you think you are? You surrender. You surrender. Let Achayrev move you, exile you to Africa. That's what Rashi learns, and it basically is to make fun of Hashem, and to the point that the person off that after he's Mavaz Hashem, they rip their clothing and all said, and then they repeat the message to Chizkiyahu Melech. That's kind of what we have the next 20 psukim. Fine. So now these three people, Yikra HaMelech, they call to the king, and they came. Who came out? So then these three messages they call out to Chizkiyahu, but Chizkiyahu didn't come. Instead, three other people come. El Yakim ben Chizkiyahu, Asher Abayis. So El Yakim, the son of Chizkiyahu, comes out, and he was El Yakim ben Chizkiyahu, Asher Abayis. You're right, because he was the son of the Kohen Gadol, and he was in charge of the palace. And Shevna was the cipher, and Yochaz ben Yosef Masker. He was the masker. Rashi learns is the scheduler. He used to say who came first and who came second. This way nobody cut the line. It was an orderly system. Anyways, so Melech Asher Sancheirav sends three people, and he sends it to Klaisel. Right, he's the recorder. Right. I'm sorry. The masker. One time. The cipher is the one. The masker, Rashi says, is the. You're correct. The masker is the first one. The masker says go first. Right. The masker says it first. Right. No. Rashi says that. No. Rashi says Yochai ben Asaf was the masker. The recorder. What does recorder mean? Rashi says.
You record every meeting, no?
No, but how Rashi says? Rashi says he said which goes first. Just like maybe he recorded the schedule. Okay. You can learn like that. Okay. Passing your test. So now this delegation is going out and they're talking, just to get clear, because we're going to have a whole back and forth. This delegation from Melch Asher Sacher is going now and he's giving a message to the people of Chizkiyahu. Now, but Yomi Alem Rav Shakeh. Rav Shakeh, he was like the one that's speaking. Now again, he was Yisrael Mummer, and he says first of all, Imru na Chizkiyahu, tell Chizkiyahu, tell Chizkiyahu, Kayamar Melch Hagadol Melch Asher. So he's making fun. What is he doing? If you want to go ahead and to lower someone's morale, first thing you do is make fun of him. He says, tell Chizkiyahu that the big great Melech Hagadol Melch Asher. He's making fun of the Melech and giving cover to the other Melech. He's making fun of Chizkiyahu and giving cover to Melch Asher. He says, Ma b'tachna, what's his confidence? Why are you so confident that you have to fight against us? Mamarta achdeves asayim. Until now, you're just saying from your lips. You're just talking. How strong you are, and your strength. Who are you depending on? How are you rebelling against me? In other words, how you Chizkiyahu are going ahead and have the guts to go ahead and to rebel against me, Sancheiriv. He's trying to knock down their spirit. He's trying to show them, like, who do you think you are? So who are you trying to get support from? In other words, you're this reed. He's trying to say Klai is like a reed, and it's moving back and forth, and you're relying on Mitzrayim. Mishkan is Hakana Haritzuf Hazel Mitzrayim Asher Yismach Ish Alav Uba Kapo Unakava. You're gonna rely on Mitzrayim, and it's gonna punch a hole in it's gonna punch the reed is gonna punch a hole through you. Came Pari Melch Mitzrayim. In other words, you can't trust Mitzrayim. It seems like some reason Sancheiriv thought that he went ahead and reached out to Mitzrayim now to get help. Because again, how could Yehuda just by relying on his own strength? It must be he's going ahead and he's relying on Mitzrayim. So he's saying, who do you think you are that you're going to go rely on Mitzrayim? You're like this splintered reed that, and I mean, if you rely on Mitzrayim, it'll be like it'll go to the palm and it'll punch her. In other words, it's a very, very weak thing to rely on. If you tell me, now Rav Shak is saying, if you say Hashem, you rely on Hashem, who? Hisser Chizkiyahu was a bamot as Chaysav by Yomi Yehuda Yerushalayim. The name is Perek Shachar Yerushalayim. He's saying like this. He's saying is that you Chizkiyahu took the bamot out because you wanted people to go to Yerushalayim. You didn't do it because you feared. You did it all for your own covet. He's trying to say Hashem is not on your side. You see, he's talking a crummer thing. He's trying to say that removing the bamot was, he's saying that Hashem doesn't want the bamot. He doesn't want to remove the Hashem wants the bamot. It's just his way of saying, like, you do this all for yourself. Hashem down on your side. He's saying all to lower the morale of Klai Yisrael. Exactly. He's trying to right. He's going to keep going on in a minute. Keep going right to his agenda. And now he's saying he should make, yeah. In other words, he's trying to say, I'll say it outside and inside. He's trying to say is that you're so weak that I'll give you 2,000 horses. If you had riders, I'll give you 2,000 horses. In other words, he's trying to say, if you want, I'll give as a Dani Melch Asher will give, and then I'll payim susim. In other words, you are such a weak army. You have nobody. I'll give you the horses if you give me the riders. Even though, like, I'm fighting against you, but he's just trying to say that you guys are so weak and you're not. 2,000 because you're really nothing.
How does he purchase his sorry? After he's already,
I'll provide security. Yeah, provide security.
Security guarantee.
In other words, I'll secure you to help fight against me. But you're so weak, you can't even do that. That's the concept. Now, he's saying, and now you go and rebel against me, I'm the weakest. Rav Shak is saying, I'm the weakest of Sancheiriv's army, and you can't even fight against me. But the Tif, with the Bach, Mitzrayim, Rechel, Rushim, and now he thinks the Klai is going to Mitzrayim, and you can't even fight against me, and now you're going to Mitzrayim for help. Va'ata Havodai Hashem Alisa, and now he's a real thing. Now he says, and now that Hashem is on my side. How do I know? Because Rashi, I'll say it in Rashi, and we'll read inside. He's saying is that there's a revuah from Yeshaya that says in the times of Achav, your father, that basically Asher is going to invade Yehuda. So he's saying, look, I'm a nevuah coming true. because he couldn't, because he saw a mummy, he knew he was a lamdan. So he's saying, Va'ata, he says that it's Hashem, Alisa, Hashem brought me here. Hashem Amali, that what Ali or Hashem said, Mamash, I'm in a divorce, you might want to surrender. Vayomer, Al Yakum, Ben Chizkiyahu, Veshevna, Vayoich, Al Vakshe. So now these three people, they told him, they said, Dabra al Avdecha Ramas. You have to realize, you're in public, everyone's washing the laundry, you're not far from the wall, like, everyone's listening. Why are you talking to Ramas? So look, we'll understand it. Because we understand it. Don't talk Yehuda, that everyone gets it. If you give it a message, a private message, everyone's listening, everyone hears it. Like, let's talk privately in a different Ramas language. So now he basically just poked the bear. So he said, no. Rav Akshi says, "Hell, Tanach, the Dabar what do you mean? He says, what do you mean? I want to talk to the people. That's what I'm here for. I want the people to understand. No, I'm Dafka talking to Yehudas. Exactly. These people on the wall, by the wall, what's going to happen is they're the ones. They're going to eat their tzaya, lishtais. It's they're going to be. There's going to be a siege. There's going to be a big siege, right? The way Rashi says it. Rashi says that I'm talking to them because they're the people that can suffer, because the hunger is to come from the siege is to cause them to be so hungry they're going to eat their own tzaya, their own meraglayim. So I want them to get the message. And then Vayamoid Ravoksh Ashkavai Avshake. Ashoki says, so now he has the confidence. He says, and then he makes a big announcement to talk to all the people. He just fired them up. Yomi says, listen up, everyone. So says Sancheriv. Don't let Chizkiyahu deceive you any further. He can't save us. Basically, surrender. Yiftach itchem Chizkiyahu. Don't let Chizkiyahu. Don't rely on him. It's Hashem lema. And this that he said, Hatzel Yaslina Hashem. Hashem will save us. But that he said that Hashem won't let you get in the hands that those that you win over Sancheriv. That's not true. Al Tishmu al Chizkiyahu. Don't listen. Ki Kaya Mar Melch Asher. So says the Melch Asher. Asu iti bracha. Make peace with me. In other words, surrender. Ish for everyone. If he's saying this, if you make peace now, you'll all be good. Each person will have their own vine. Then the ish, each person will have their own private fig tree. The shasu ish, everyone will have their own. They'll drink from their own private well. In other words, make peace and ad boy l'kachti atchem al eretz. I'll send you in a land that's similar to Eretz Yisrael. In other words, Sancheriv always exile people. He's saying is, I'll just move you somewhere else. Rashi says, Eretz Dagam Assyrian to Africa. Basically, he's saying is, I'll move you to Africa. Eretz Dagam Assyrian, Eretz Lechem Mikramim, Eretz Zayis Yitzah Dvash. Be a beautiful land. V'chiyu loisamusu. V'atishmu al Chizkiyahu. Don't listen to Chizkiyahu. Ki yasis eschem leimar Hashem etzayim. Because he's the one that says Hashem won't save you. So again, Rav Shaki is saying, basically, he's saying, don't listen. Come with me. Come and you'll be exiled like the way Sancheriv does best, exiles people. Come to Africa and I'll move you there, you'll take care, you'll live, and don't. Now, why do you say a land like my land? So Rashi says, a beautiful shot. Rashi says, because if you would say we could go to a better land, then they'll chop right away, he's lying. Because nothing's better than Eretz Yisrael. So he didn't say it's a better land, he said it's a similar land. Just I'll give you better treatment, you'll have better food, you'll have your own private vineyard, you'll have your private vineyard, you'll have your own, you'll have all different amenities, we'll give you a private well, it'll all be good. Pasuk Lamed Gimel. Hahatzel, Hatzilu, Alakei Agoyim. Now he's being Mavaz Hashem. And this is the big one. He's saying is, has Hashem saved Ish al Artzle Miyad Melch Asher? Has Hashem saved anyone from Melch Asher? Nobody. Ayei Elihei Chomas Va'arfad. We are the gods of Chomas and Arfad. Ayei Elihei Savaryonim. Sarvonim. Hanei Aiva. They all been exiled and twisted them, whatever that means. Did Hashem go ahead and save you? Malchi Yisrael, your brothers. Malchi Yisrael, no. They're gone. They're gone. Listen, the fate of Malchi Yisrael is about to happen. Malchi Yehuda. That's the propaganda he's trying to say. Pasuk hey, umi b'chol hey artzos who asher tzilu es artza miyadi ki yatza Hashem et Yerushalayim miyadi. Who amongst the gods of the lands saved the land? It will save you. Will save Yerushalayim from my hands. Nobody is trying to say. In other words, surrender. Let Sancheiriv go ahead and be goylas and be goyla you. The people, after this long speech, the people were silent. They didn't say anything. Because Chizkiyahu said, Lois Anu. He said, don't answer him. Let him talk. Let him give a speech. And don't. Sometimes the best response is silence. And that's what happened. What happened now? The Shevna Cipher. The Yochas ben Asa Hamaski. So all three of them went to Chizkiyahu, they went and they were torn garments. Why torn garments? So either because they got a really, really bad news, or because it was Vaz Hashem. Gemara says in Hedron that another Yid, right, it was to go ahead and give and the Vaz Hashem like that we have to take Kriya. So they took Kriya and they came to the Melech. So they repeat the word Ashake, and then tomorrow, if I get test, you're going to see what Chizkiyahu does. He rips his clothing, and we'll see a tremendous miracle that happens at the end of Perek test.